Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tiravana Chari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande, Jai Vishwapad Paramahamsa, Parivachakacharya, Divine Grace, ऐसे भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, नित्य जय विश्वपाद परमहंसा पारवेचकाचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्तिवेदांता गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, नित्य जय विश्वपाद परमहंसा पारवेचकाचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस गौर कृष्णदास बाबा जी की जय, नित्य जय विश्वपाद परमहंसा पारवेचकाचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस सच्चिदानंद भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. Grantra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai nitai. Gaur Premanande. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. Glory to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glory to Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, Text 45. Glory. Deva ekama varotatto Mahyantri bhuvaneshwarai Navrinnetam aham kamam Bhuta bhavana bhavana Deva ekama varodatto Mayantri bhuvaneshwarai Navrinnetam aham kamam Bhuta bhavana bhavana Deva ekama varodatto Mayam Tribhuvaneshwarai Navrinetam aham kamam Bhuta bhavana bhavanaha. Hare. Devai by the demigods. Kamavaraha, the benediction to have whatever he wanted. Dattaha was given. Mayam unto me. Tribhuvana Ishwarai by the demigods, the protector of the three worlds, who can do whatever they like within this material world. Now Renee did not accept. Tam, that. Aham, I. Kamam, everything desirable within this material world. Bhuta bhavana bhavanaha, being fully observed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore not interested in anything material. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The demigods, the director of the three worlds, wanted to give me whatever benediction I desired. I did not want their benedictions. However, because I am interested in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who created everything in this material world, I am more interested in the Supreme Personality of Godhead than in all material benedictions. Purport. A devotee is always transcendently situated. Param drishtva nivartate. One who has seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead is no longer is interested in material sense enjoyment. Even such an exalted devotee as Dhruva Maharaj went to the forest for the sake of material benefit. But when he actually saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he refused to accept any material benedictions. He said, Swamin kritarthosmi varam na yache. My dear Lord, I am fully satisfied with whatever you have given me or not given me. I have nothing to ask for from you, for I am fully satisfied to be engaged in your service. This is the mentality of a pure devotee, who does not want anything material or spiritual from the Personality of Godhead. Our Krishna consciousness movement is therefore called Krishna bhavanamrta sangha, the association of persons who are simply satisfied in thoughts of Krishna. Being absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna is neither expensive nor troublesome. Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Offer obeisances and worship me. That's from Bhagavad Gita 9:34. Anyone can always think of Krishna without difficulties or obstacles. This is called Krishna bhavanamrta. One who is observing Krishna bhavanamrta has no material benefits to ask from Krishna. Instead, such a person prays to the Lord for the benediction of being able to spread His glories all over the world. Mama janmani share bhavatat bhaktir ahaitu kitvai. A Krishna conscious person does not even want to stop his cycle of birth and death. He simply prays, I may take birth as you like, but my only prayer is that I may be engaged in your service. Very, very instructive shloka. This is the wonderful purport by Srila Prabhupada, instruction to not ask anything from Krishna. That is called ahaitukya bhakti, unalloyed devotion. In this world, the opposite. People always ask for things in return. But here, ahaitukya bhakti, which means only serving Krishna, not ask anything in return. Pure devotion, love, that's the definition. And Krishna bhavanamrta, Prabhupada explains in Hindi, Krishna bhavanamrta, Sangha. This Hare Krishna movement is Krishna bhavanamrta. So come together to associate about Krishna, think about Krishna. Bhavanamrita. That's not possible to do on your own. That's why you have this big society. When we come together, we can think of Krishna by praying to Krishna. And this is also the instruction of the previous acharyas, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Today is the disappearance of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is the predecessor of us. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had a vision that one day the Europeans and Americans and Chinese, along with Indians, they will chant Jai Sachinandana in Mayapur. And that has been happening now. That was the vision of Bhaktivinoda Thakur many, many years before Prabhupada went to America. And Prabhupada was the one who did that by the mercy of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has his house just across the Jalangi, and the window faces Mayapur. And he saw, way before ISKCON was there, he saw there was a light coming, big bright light coming from that area where ISKCON is today. He said one day there's going to be a big city. That's ISKCON Mayapur today. He saw. So we are all pioneers of Krishna consciousness today. We're in that mission. He said, oh, who is that person? It's us. We are the one who, that pioneering devotees. Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the previous acharyas, they already set everything. We just have to be part of it and carry on that mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was capable of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. But Krishna wanted Prabhupada to do it. And Prabhupada said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur could have done it all. But he said, he left that service for me to do it. And same with us. We are in this movement. Don't think, oh, I am so insignificant a person. Yes, we are in front of Srila Prabhupada. We are insignificant, but we're an important insignificant person. Even a pot washer, or a cook, or cleaner, book distributor, from somebody serving our prasadam. Everyone in Krishna consciousness, in Hare Krishna, a cleaner and the sweeper, everyone is just as important because we are all part of that mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had that vision years ago, so it's not a joke. We are part of that. How fortunate we are to be part of that family of Srila Prabhupada, the family of the previous acharyas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was preaching Krishna consciousness, it wasn't easy for him. He had a lot of opposition. Then came Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the seventh child of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He had 12 children. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the seventh one. His first wife died from cholera. Big pandemic in India in the 1800s. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur remarried as Bhagavati. And from her, he had 12 children. He had one from the first wife, 11 from Bhagavati. And the seventh one is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. And we are his disciple, and you are our disciple. So this is the parampara system. It's so wonderful to be connected. Everything based on connection. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wanted us to spread Krishna consciousness. He wanted Srila Prabhupada to spread Krishna consciousness in the Western world. If you read about it, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, at that time, he was trying to preach to the Westerners, the British time. It's called Bhadralok, to very higher class people. Bhadralok. And he had to face a lot of opposition. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he also had a lot of opposition. Because he was wearing Western clothes, leather shoes, because he wanted to preach to the Englishmen in India. So that's what it takes, sacrifice, challenges to spread Krishna consciousness. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had a lot of challenges. He got very sick from the cholera, nearly died. And he was to support the family. And he was always studying scriptures and different philosophy to learn many, many thoughts of philosophy. And then he got to know more and more about different concepts of theories, philosophical theories and studies of different paths of knowledge. Of course, this is all lila. Not that he didn't know. Then he had a job as a postman, a deputy postman. Then gradually they appointed him to be magistrate, district magistrate. Then he became the magistrate for Jagannath Puri temple. And his job was to make sure the pilgrims were fed, medical support, and his job was also to make sure that they accommodated, hospitable. That was all his job, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's a big job. Then he can earn some more money for support the family. He had a lot of struggle. Imagine feed 12 kids, like we have, like this is the, you guys, 3 kids. And I see your dad is always working so hard. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his desire was to write a lot of books on devotional practices. And he wrote many books, over 100 books, song books. In fact, a lot of the songs we sing is all written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Kiva Jaya, Jaya Go, that's Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And all the songs that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote, Narottam Das Thakur wrote, and all the acharyas that wrote, these songs are our philosophy, not just songs. When he sing these songs, they are message. Because those days, people in Bengal, they are convinced by songs. They like singing, classical people. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had friend Vidyasagar, what's his name? Very famous poets. He himself wrote a lot of poets. I was studying yesterday, I was writing down. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he came across this person. He says, I'm God. Because he has some mystic power. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a district magistrate. He had the power to put people in prison. He said, you're not God. And Prabhupada used to say, those who call themselves God, they are dogs, opposite. So he said, you're not God, I'll prove it. So all the people said, leave him alone. He can make you very sick, you and your family. He said, I don't care. I'll show you he's not God. We'll die, but we want to make sure that he doesn't claim himself to be a God. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur put him in the prison, arrested him. His name is Vishakshan. The story is there. When he put in the prison, his wife was really sick, he got sick, children, everybody was sick, nearly dying. And they all said, see, we told you, better release him. He said, no, we don't care. We'll die, but we want to prove that he's not God. So they got that guy and they brought him to the court. And he had all the hair, like Sai Baba. They have a lot of hair. So sometimes they keep the mystic power inside the hair. So they cut his hair off. And he fell down. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his family got better. So he was not Bhagavan. He just had some mystic power he was keeping in his hair. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a strong preacher of Krishna consciousness, establishing Krishna consciousness. He wanted to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. He read a couple of books and he sent it to Europe and Canada. Even at that time, he really wanted to preach in the Western countries. Even here, you can see our temple, all the temples all over the world today, ISKCON temples full of Indians. So we're trying to make white person devotee. And Prabhupada wanted, Krishna wanted that. He started in America. He didn't care about Indian because he already Krishna conscious. You're going to come anyway. He wanted to preach to the most ignorant. And so, there's another time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there was a tree was haunted by a ghost. Yes, sometimes the ghosts, they live in different trees. They don't likely live in the temple because it's very pure. I don't know, maybe some of you could be ghosts. We like Krishna consciousness. But usually ghosts, they don't live in the temple, they live in the trees. So this tree was haunted by a ghost. So no one can get rid of the ghost. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he started to have Bhagavatam class under that tree. 7 days and 7 nights, all day and night. There was no stopping. At the end of 7 days, the tree fell down. Got liberated. And Prabhupada also, when he was in UK, because they had a lot of wars in the Second World War, so many ghosts living in buildings. Because we were buying houses and sometimes these buildings were full of ghosts. And Prabhupada had the cane, he said, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And they all got rid of them. And when you blow the conch, they run away. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his mission was a very challenging mission. And that mission is what we're doing today. And all the books that he wrote, even he wrote commentaries on the books of the Goswamis. And there's one book, it's called Jaiva Dharma, a big book. Most of his books are not translated because Srila Prabhupada only took the most essential books that we need. But someone can translate. 100 books. At that time, to write 100 books wasn't easy. And even Srila Prabhupada wrote the Bhagavatam in the 70s. So many books. They didn't have that many technology like we have today. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says he was married at the age of 5. That's really weird. But those days that was the system. So when they married at that age, they don't live. They live separately till they are like 16, 17. So they learn from the parents how to be a wife, how to be a husband, like that. Maybe because, this is my guess, that they'll be difficult to find someone, so they get it done early. I don't know. But the idea is that they learn from the parents for at least 10 years. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur told Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in fact, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the seventh son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his name was Bimal Prasad. Bhaktisiddhanta, because he learned so much, he was title given as Bhaktisiddhanta. Siddhanta means the concept of all the scriptures. So he was given the name Bhakti Siddhanta. Conclusion of the Bhakti, the Siddhanta, the philosophy of devotion, he used completely. And he studied the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses at the age of 7. He can stand like this and repeat all the verses, 700, one time, by memory. Can you do that? Maybe, yeah, if you study. So, he told Bhaktisiddhanta, go get initiated. You know who is Guru? Bhaktisiddhanta Guru? Is Gaur Krishna Das Babaji. He was a Babaji. He's living in the field. Babaji means they're very, very renowned. They don't live in a palatial house, wear nice clothes. Live in like a field, wearing a small piece of cloth. He used to eat. We have a nice silver plate or a nice bowl, a stainless steel plate with a spoon. I can't eat without all this facility. So Gaurkishdas Babaji, he used to eat out of a skull. That's his bowl. And you know what he used to eat? Not halava, puri. He was eating mud from the Ganga inside that. With all pleasure, not very happy. And one time, one big rich man, they gave Gaurkishdas Babaji 100 rupee. That time 100 rupees is a lot of money, those days. So he didn't say, I get myself some silk clothes. He didn't do that. He spent 100 rupee, he bought buckets and buckets of rasgulla. You know rasgulla? It's a sweet, rasgulla. It's like a gulab jamun. So he bought buckets and buckets of rasgulla. And he fed all the cows in Navadip. That's what he did. If we have buckets and buckets of rasgulla, especially made by someone who's really good at it, they will disappear very quickly, our devotees. But he fed the cows. So he was so renowned. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he told Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, go get initiated by Gaur Krishnadas Babaji. So he went there and he had to find him in the bush, the forest, in a place where he was staying, in a hut near the Ganga. And he said, please initiate me. He said, go away. I don't initiate anyone. He said, please. He wouldn't give initiation. He didn't have any disciples. This is Babaji, renounce. So he went back. The Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he said, you won't initiate me. He said, don't come home till you initiated. So he went back. So he said, if you don't initiate me, I will kill myself. That's a good way to, of course he was testing him. Like, our people, our time today, you want to get initiated, and then you go and bother on Anuruddha Prabhu, oh, please give me letter or this, that. It's easy these days, are easy. You just pass the test, but you have to get to the level that you want to kill yourself. If they don't go away, you say, fine, I'm going to Hare Krishna movement, I'm leaving, I do my own thing. This is what we do. But he didn't do that. Well, you're going to kill yourself. If you didn't get initiation, fine. You go to another mandir and get it from a Gauriya Math or something. This is what people are doing today. But he was so determined to get initiated because his father told him to get initiated by Gaur Krishnadas Babaji, by hook or crook. So then, okay, don't kill yourself, I will initiate you. That's Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So sometimes people may say, oh, how come your guru is a Babaji? And you are wearing leather shoe and riding Rolls Royce. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was in a Rolls Royce. I saw a picture. His kids were sitting. Rolls Royce made out of silver. Not like tin can today. Silver Rolls Royce at that time. In 1800s. So people are criticizing him. What kind of sannyasi you are? So he wanted to show Yukta Vairagya. Use everything in Krishna's service. But he himself was detached from it. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had that one son who spread Krishna consciousness. It's his desire to spread Krishna consciousness in English language, and that person is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who made his disciple Srila Prabhupada and who did it all over the world. Someone said, oh no, I want to be initiated by a Babaji. I want to live at the side of Radhakund. Fine. Then you have to produce one disciple like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And who made one disciple? Srila Prabhupada. If you want to be a Babaji, you can. But produce one disciple like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. There's one American guy who was nagging Srila Prabhupada, please, Prabhupada, I want to take Babaji. Prabhupada said, no, you will not be able to maintain Babaji. Then he nagged Prabhupada, he said, okay, fine, go. And he built a hut in Mayapur. He's living in the hut, in the jungle. After he gave it all up, went back to America and said, give up. He went back to Maya. So you have to follow the instruction of Guru. And now all this talk about opening a temple, this and that. I thought I'd mention a little bit. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he went door to door begging for 1 rupee to build the temple at the side of Yoga Pit. Like a beggar. He was district magistrate. Not that he didn't have money. That is, everything depends on the attitude, devotional attitude. Not that I have money, I can build a temple, ha ha ha. It's humility. He built that Jogapit, that big temple, was built by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Door to door. He went door to door. So the mood of a devotee is his humility. How much you love Krishna, that he's prepared to go door to door, collect 1 rupee at that time to build that big temple, yoga pit. Okay, you build a big temple, then what? Then you sit back, big Maha. No. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was extremely humble. So the devotional mood is what it takes to attract others to Krishna consciousness. Whatever the problem may have, that's your problem. You have to go get over that. But to, build a temple, you have to have that devotional attitude. Come here, do service, sweep the floor, dress Radha Ballava so nicely. Our pujaris, they do such a wonderful job of dressing our deities so beautifully, you can't take your eyes off. How can we not come and see the Lordship? Anyone to build a temple? Come and see what Prabhupada gave in us, existing temple. Right? That's the attitude. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he saw vision, he saw that's ISKCON Mayapur. Way back then, he saw this big city. Even I had a vision. There was a place, my favorite place. Everybody, when you're a kid, you have a favorite place where you go to, isn't it? Like you go to the beach and you sit one place. So, or you go some bridge, that's your favorite place because you spit there and the fish see. So I had a favorite place. So there's a village where I lived, Shantipur. Those days in the 70s, it was very attractive, not like today. There's no more forest. They build all cottages and concrete buildings. It's all gone. So, so there was a abandoned area, kind of an abandoned area. And you go up the steps, it's all forest, and there was a atagach, sitafal tree, custard apple fruit, and that was there on top. And it was a small temple. I don't know who was in the temple, but abandoned area, nobody would go. Everybody said, don't go there, it goes there. I said, no, I don't think this goes, this is a temple. So I used to walk up and see what's in there. So that's my favorite place. When you go up there, you can see very high up and see all like river down there. But that area was my favorite place. So there was this talk about where actual place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he was born, Lord Chaitanya, the birth site. So there was a place across the Ganga. It's called Prachin Mayapur. You heard of it? There, the local people say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared there. But actually, there's no proof of that. So this side of where it is today. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had that vision. That's the place. So he built, there is that book called, it's all about Navadip and Mayapur. There's one book, Navadip Mahatmya. It's in that book, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, the actual birthplace is Mayapur, not Prachin Mayapur. So that place was very abandoned area. That's where today there's a neem gach, neem tree. And they said, locals said it's haunted, that area. Don't go there. They see lights there sometimes at night, lit up. Because sometimes in Australia also when you're driving at night, it's all pitch dark. If you break down, you finish. Like you have to wait till next day. It's so dark. So Mayapur is pitch dark, but there's light there under that tree. So they said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, that's the place. Lord Chaitanya has appeared there. So, who was that? Was Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? That they got Jagannath Das Babaji. Jagannath Das Babaji was 120-year-old. That's really old. Like, his eyes, the eyebrows, his eyelid would come down to the eyes. So if you want to see, you go like, you have to pull it up. He couldn't see a thing. So they bought Jagannath Babaji in a basket, carried him, and to bring him to that place that where the light is coming from. And imagine if you're 120, you be like this and he jumped. When he got to the spot, he jumped out of the basket and said, Hare, oh, Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hare. That's the proof that that's the place, the birth side of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we see today, not the other side of the Ganga. And there is a school there. That school is by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He established school there, government school, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a district magistrate in the British court, very big man. So they even built a railway line for him. So when you go across the Jalangi, his house is there, where he had the vision of Mayapur. You can see there's a railway track just outside his house, because the British court was in Krishnanagar. I was in Shantipur, so we used to do our shopping in Krishnanagar, not far from Shantipur, middle. So Krishnanagar is a very, even today, they have a lot of government houses, all British houses. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to work there. And then he would go home, and his house where today, Godrumdeep. So they built a railway just for him to go to his house. And they built a railway, so there's a small rail track. There, I don't know if they still have it. That rail track was going to his house and to Santipur, where I was born. Santipur is considered a holy place. After Santipur is Ranaghat. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was born in Virnagar. It's within that area, between Krishnanagar and Ranaghat. So up to Shantipur, up to Godrumdeep, it's all holy place. Because Navadip is 9 islands and extends up to Shantipur. It's like a lotus leaf. And that's, so where our ISKCON is today, that's the center of the lotus, Antardeep, the center, middle. So the outer skirts of the lotus is Shantipur. So they built the railway line just for Bhaktivinoda Thakur up to Shantipur, after his house, because he wanted to go to Shantipur. That's how important he was, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And later, he was given the charge of Jagannath Puri, Magistrate Jagannath Puri. It's a very big post. If you've been to Jagannath Puri, it's like they have millions of people coming every year, millions. Every month maybe 1 million and millions of people. So much money coming in, finance. So he was the head of all the financial charge. He was taking charge of that. And that money is to be spent for distribution, the prasadam distribution. They give food and medical to the people that come. So he was in charge of that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a big post. And that's where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was born. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was born in Jagannath Puri. And it says that when he was born, he had a Brahman thread around his neck, like umbilical cord, like that, like a Brahman thread around his body. And his mother, Bhagavati, got up on the chariot. When the chariot comes out, only the Pandavas can go on it. So she got up because she is the wife of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And a garland from Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, fell on the small child. That's Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So, it's mentioned that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a great devotee because of his, all these things, the Brahman thread. And he got, a son of Bhakti Thakur. So these are the things we should know. And Bhaktisiddhanta, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, when he retired, he wanted to go to Vrindavan and retire there. And he had a dream that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the acharyas, they came to his dream. He said, you need to stay in Bengal and preach. You can't go to Vrindavan and just chant, be a Babaji. He wanted to. He took off the Babaji brush, but they all told him not to. So exactly that, what he wanted, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati also wanted. He also wanted to chant and be a Babaji. So then, one time it mentioned, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he sat in a room and started chanting, non-stop, day and night. And the roof fell off from the storm, And he just got an umbrella, keep chanting over the roof, so determined. Yesterday we had a Harinam, and everybody was saying, oh, too cold, oh, it's raining, and all this thing, too windy, and nobody wanted to come. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his roof went flying off from a storm. He kept chanting with an umbrella over his head. That's how determined he was. He wasn't sitting there, oh, where is the breakfast with khichdi with paneer in it? No, he was so determined to serve Krishna. He didn't care what happened to him. Weather, food, nothing. He wasn't distracted by anything. He just chanting Hare. And then the acharyas came to his dream. They said, you can't, this is not, you're supposed to do, this is not your job. You're supposed to travel and preach. So we are that movement. Travel and preach Krishna consciousness. As sannyasis, they don't stay in one place more than 3 days because they'll get attached to manager, different things. It's mentioned like that. But I have a different attitude. I don't like to just go here and there unless I have to go sightseeing. Stay in one place and preach. Become steady in Krishna consciousness. Serve Krishna. Develop the taste for serving Krishna. Not just moving around. So if you want to move around, then you go to preach Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, I always admire Pankajani Janani Vash Prabhu in Mayapur. They don't go anywhere. They're always there every day doing puja, every day doing chanting their rounds, every day they're attending. It requires some austerity to be able to be fixed in Krishna consciousness by being in one place. Also. But as a sannyasi, travel and preach. We don't become attached to one place because everybody's serving you, you have good food coming for you, everyone ironing your clothes. You become attached to that. Everyone's falling at your feet. But you have to remember our higher responsibility is to travel and preach and make others Krishna conscious. And the opulence will follow. But we don't become attached to the opulent. We become attached to serving Krishna. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they showed us. They are the example of Yukta Vairagya. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he was riding a Rolls Royce. And Srila Prabhupada, he had the same facility that they gave him in America. They gave him a Rolls Royce, a limousine. And the reporter said, Swamiji, you're supposed to be renounced. Why are you riding in the Rolls Royce, in the limousine? He said, oh, my disciples, whatever they offer to me, I accept. God rides in an airplane made out of gold. What is this tin can my disciples given me? I have to accept. That's Yukta Vairagya. We have this temple, so beautiful. So beautiful. The first time I came to ISKCON, I mentioned before, Mayapur. I saw this big chandelier, I never saw it in my life. We use this candle and hurricane and, light in a home. Electricity, those are the 70s. Came to ISKCON, wow. I was amazed. And so clean, beautiful deity with chandeliers and glittering clothing. Why? Because this is to attract people to come to Krishna. This is for the purpose of preaching. We went Harinam yesterday, freezing cold, wind blowing through, but I didn't care. Once you start chanting and dancing, you don't think of anything. You're above all that. And this family, they make cookies. It's very, a lot of work. They have a job, they still go and make these cookies, and they go to give to the people. I had 3 pieces. It was so good. This is all part of preaching. So, the idea of preaching Krishna consciousness is not for our enjoyment. When you preach Krishna consciousness, it's already very dynamic. You sit around all day, you go, you'll be bored. Preaching dynamic, it gives life. When you go Harinam, book distribution, cook, do all kinds of activities, full of service. People will say, you Hare Krishnas, get a job. This probably woke up 2:30 in the morning. And we woke up 3:30, 4 o'clock. Well, get a job, you get a job. You get up at 4 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, we're already 5 hours up while they're just getting up. And it's mentioned, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a tight schedule. You know his schedule? Every day he had a tight schedule, up all night. He'd be writing books. And he was, as a district magistrate, and he was a judge, so he has to see many people. And he would dismiss many people. He knew exactly what to do very quickly, so many a day. And he can come home and write books all throughout the night. His schedule is very tight. So that's why I lived in ashram last night. Usually they have in the back of the door, everybody's schedule, throughout the day, what we're meant to do. They have spare time, and then you go for a walk on the beach. No, you chant japa or study. Always use your time properly in serving Krishna. We have very little time. That's why these acharyas come here, Acharya 1. They come here to show their example how to be a devotee by their own example. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 12 children. 12! Like some of you have like 1, and I say, why don't you have 1 more? I said, no, already too much. They have 3. These guys are already grown up. Must be like when they're a kid, very tough for the parents. Mother and father like, I stayed in one Grihastha's house just day before yesterday. I stayed away. I stayed in my room. I can hear all the noise, crying, trying to give them a shower, send them to school. I thought, thank God I'm not in it. So on top of all that, you still find the time to chant japa, to find time to come to the temple. You can imagine what Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to go through. And we are sitting in a temple somewhere, and you have a job in a nice room, and you're talking about opening a temple. Come here first. Sit down with us, chant japa, chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam with the boys in ashram, do some menial service. Then you can talk big things. Isn't it? Otherwise, don't keep your mouth shut. That's what I would say. Sorry. I could say, if it's not Bhagavatam class, I would be using other strong words. Appreciate. Learn to appreciate. Have respect. Love. It's not we love Krishna. We have to love Krishna's devotee. Krishna says, if you want to love me, you have to love my devotee. You can only come to me through my devotees. We all hate each other. Hare Krishna, I love Krishna. First make friendship with devotees. Appreciate, respect each other. Everything must be in a proper place, in a Krishna conscious mood, in a humble mood. So that's the idea. Bhaktivinoda Thakur he sets the standard. Today he's disappearance day. And not that he disappeared. He's here in his instruction. Prabhupada left 1977. Doesn't mean he's not here anymore. He's gone, now we can do whatever we like. Like when the boss leaves the office, then everybody starts to shoot the breeze. Gone. Prabhupada is here, his instruction, he's here. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is here, watching us. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, one Tamal Krishna Maharaj was that, Prabhupada said to him, Prabhupada was talking to the devotees in a room full of devotees, and Prabhupada said, and you, Tamal Krishna, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is waiting for you. He said that to him. He looked like Bhaktivinoda a little bit, very, very heavy and strong personality, preacher. So many of these devotees, especially the pioneering devotees, they were sent. Prabhupada said, these boys and girls, they're sent by Krishna to help me. They're not ordinary people. They say, when Prabhupada brought the foreigners to India, to Vrindavan, and Mayapur, they said, you, Prabhupada, was criticized by the Brahmanas. They said, you have spoiled our culture. You made Westerners, sannyasi, Brahmana. How can... But you are not seeing, they're not Westerners. In the past life, they were special persons. They came to America to assist Prabhupada. They took their birth there. Yeah. Why did Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to preach Krishna consciousness in the Western language? Because India is always Krishna conscious, full of temple. Prabhupada went to a place where it is most needed, ignorant places. Hare Krishna is a family word. Everybody knows that's mercy of Prabhupada. Everywhere there is ISKCON temple. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Grihe thako, bone thako, wherever you are. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upade. Tell others about Krishna. And Prabhupada did that. Because Prabhupada is representative of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, representative of the previous acharyas. Love is when you can love our Guru. Once you make an offense to a devotee, any progress you make in spiritual life will be spoiled. I just read, Prabhupada said, it will be just gone. We have to be very careful. Not we glorify Bhaktivinoda Thakur, glorify Prabhupada, and everybody else is nonsense. We have to respect everyone equally and love. That's the idea. And that comes from humility. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, full of acharyas in our books. They are great personalities, associate of Krishna, intimate associate of Krishna. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, only 500 years ago. They were fabulously wealthy. But they were so loving. It is mentioned that Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they were, people would come from villages to talk with them. about family, to consult their family if they have family problem. Who are they to talk, to consult them about family? They had none of their business. They are great devotees. But because they are so loving, people love them so much. Even just few words they say to anyone, it's so sweet and so loving. They feel comfortable in their words. We don't associate with people who are very rough. We avoid. But these are Goswamis, they are not ordinary people. Pure, they are advanced, they are the gopis, cowherd boys of Krishna. They came, they were supremely humble. Everybody loved them. Rough people, family people, anyone would come to consult, take the advice from Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami. Who are we to be like, oh, I am this, I am. We have to be very loving so people can love you and trust you, and talk to you, feel comfort to be in your association. See, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, people loved him. He was not ordinary, he was an associate of Krishna. And we are in that line. We are connected to Bhaktivinoda Thakur through Prabhupada, through Bhaktivedanta Thakur, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are in that line. And think, oh, I will go away, do my thing, and I will go to another temple. You don't understand how fortunate we are to be connected to Prabhupada through Bhaktivedanta Thakur, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The connection. No matter what, we have to stick around. These are all a test. Oh, you like this. No, be respectful. Try to see your own heart. My karma. I am bad, not you. Duryodhana was told to go out and see for anybody good out there. He came back and said, I can't find anybody good. Because he himself is bad. He said, everybody's bad. And they asked Yudhishthira Maharaj to go out, see if anybody's bad. He said, I couldn't find anybody bad. Everyone's good. Because he is good. If he is good, you see everyone's good. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is like that. He always praying to Krishna. He prayed and he got Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. It's not that Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur couldn't done it. He made Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. He produced that. We can have so many kids, like so many people have. If one son can make devotees all over the world, that's good enough. You can have hundreds of sons, but if they're like cats and dogs, also have. Prabhupada said, moon, so many stars. Prabhupada is that moon. Prahlad Maharaj. You can have many kids going around. If you make one person, that one son, a good person, a good son, that's called putra. Tra means to deliver from the clutches of Maya. Putra, that's a good son. If the good son is bad, it's called mutra, bad son. Dirt, garbage. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhupada said, all of you are my sons and daughter. We have to be a good son. Putra, deliver from Maya. There's no prasadam today. Breakfast, it's a half-day fast. We can speak a bit more. I was very attracted to Bhaktivinoda Thakur because I was born in Shantipur. I knew a little bit about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I didn't know till joined ISKCON. So when I came to Mayapur, I was very young. I used to swim across the Ganga. And every day, because I was we were in Goshala, our Gurukul was near the Jalangi. So we used to take bath in Jalangi and swim across, have a quick darshan of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and come back in our gamsha. We're a good swimmer. Swim across the Jalangi and take some Chanamita, go around Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Samadhi there, and come back. That's not his real Samadhi, that's his Pushpa Samadhi. We go around, take Chanamita, if lunchtime they give some Pushadam, then we swim back. So much fun. So, I grew up in Santipur, and that's the place of Advaita-acharya. Same thing, Advaita-acharya also. It mentioned that he prayed to Krishna and had a shalagram, and he worshipped the shalagram, the side of the Ganges, and with the Ganges water, and he prayed to Krishna to calm down because the world was full of suffering. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He said, I came because you prayed for me. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, he prayed. And Bhakti Saraswati Thakur came. And Bhakti Saraswati, he really desired to have someone who is going to preach in the West, because that was his desire, his father's desire. He even wrote 2 books, he sent it to Europe and Canada. He wanted that badly to preach Krishna consciousness in the UK and all over Europe. But they even sent some, Prabhupada's godbrother went to UK, up to UK. And they said, impossible. They can't follow. No meat eating, gambling, that is impossible. They came back. Prabhupada went and he did. Prabhupada said, he entered like a needle, come out like a plow. He knew the technique. He didn't go there and tell them, okay, from today, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. They said, what's left? They're not going to be able to do it. You have to do slowly. He saw, they were putting drugs in the halava in the beginning. And it tastes really good. They're all tripping. Hare Krishna. There's not ecstasy, they were on drugs. But Prabhupada allowed. He didn't allow, but that's what they're doing. How much Prabhupada had to tolerate? But when he saw gradually they start to develop the taste for Krishna consciousness, then he put down the principle. Not straight away. Enter like a plow, come out like enter like a needle, come out like a plow. That's what Prabhupada did. So Prabhupada did it. And we see it today. ISKCON all over the world. This is Prabhupada's work. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted. This is what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted. All of us work together. And if you want to open temple, open quietly. Don't cause trouble. Go open your temple, chant Hare Krishna, whatever. We are doing so nicely here. If you don't like it, go open your temple. Fine. But leave us alone. We are doing so nicely here. This is Prabhupada opened this temple. If it's crowded, we are all mashed up, that's good. But it never happens, only on festival days. There's hardly anyone here. They're talking big thing. Open this, open that. For years, I've been here 9 years, they're talking about it. If the temple's packed, I'm giving Bhagavatam class, there's only 10 people sitting here. Where are they? Isn't it? I'm not afraid to say this. So if we really have to understand that if we want to love Krishna, appreciate what Prabhupada gave us. Existing. This is the existing temple. This is a beautiful place. And people want to copy now. These Ritvik people, they open a big temple, Vrindavan. They call it also Mayapur or something, Vrindavan. That's a copy. Somebody asked me, if I give you milk, it's very white color. Next to that, I give you paint. It's also white. It looks the same. So now I want to have a paint, not milk. They're making a big mistake. So that's what's going on. Stay where we are already given. You can have a big temple, but Krishna doesn't mean he's forced to stay there. Krishna, he went to the house of Vidura, a hut, without uninvited. He was supposed to go to the palace of Duryodhana. So it's not like Krishna is forced to stay in a big temple because it's palatable, because they have better facility. Krishna stays where there's love, his devotees. You open a big temple and you sit, relax. Oh, yeah, I have one. That's not the attitude. Attitudes come from humility. Come here, do service, clean the floor, cook. There's so much work here to be done. Quietly. Krishna noticed everything. Don't advertise how great you are. Think, I'm just a servant, I'm an ant in this temple. I'm an ant, let them step on me. The Goswamis of Vrindavan, they wanted their name to be written on the stone, so the pilgrims, when they come, they can step on them. You go most of the temple, they have, you see, Radha Damodar, there's names on the stone. That's the humility. And we want our name to be on the wall. I built that, my temple. What kind of attitude is that? These are great Vaishnavas in Vrindavan. You don't advertise. Humble, be humble. You don't tell Krishna, I had a dream last night that Radharani came and Krishna came in a dream. No. Keep it to yourself. Between me, you and God. They are husband and wife when there's some interactions. This private thing. You don't tell about others. So there's some godly interaction between dream. That's very private. Don't advertise. We have a big temple. Okay, do one and let's see it. First come here what we already have. Yeah. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he built that Jogapit, big temple. You know how? Begging money door to door. I said before. You want to express his devotion, his love, labor of love. That's how you build a temple. Not you have and show everyone. And so you have to see what's in our attitude, what type of devotion. Krishna is not obliged to live in a big palace or a big temple. Yoginam hidaya shubha. He said, I'm not in the heart of the yogis. Vaikuntava. I'm not in Vaikunta. But I am there where my devotees are chanting my glories. He's not saying, you have to give me sweet rice, kheer, rasagula, gulab jamun. Then I'll accept. He said, patram puspam, fruit or water or leaf I accept if offered devotion. He didn't ask for big opulent golden plate. Grihe thako, bone thako, wherever you are, forest, in a simple home of a devotee, I'm there. If people are stuck together like this in a temple, that's out of their love. They want to see Krishna in that attitude, not with all comfort. If they're having so much uncomfort, but nobody's complaining. That's their love. They want to express their love to Krishna. That, it wasn't easy for Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is an associate of Krishna, and his first wife died from cholera. Some ordinary people may say, oh, how can God do that to his devotee? And Prabhupada had a heart attack on the sea. This is Krishna showing that they determined to serve him no matter what, under any condition. His godbrother went, and they come back. I can't do it. Prabhupada didn't give up. He continued because he had faith in the instruction of his guru. He could have turned back. He went because to fulfill the desire of his guru. Finish the course, the complete course. If we can live together peacefully, serve Krishna, what we already have, happily, with friendship,
That is the proof of our advancement. If we fight like cat and dog, then what is the difference between, in the name of religion? If we can peacefully come here, that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. Europeans, Americans, Chinese, Indians, they will come to Mayapur and say, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana. And we have that everywhere, all over the world. But if we actually come here to do that, then there is no quarrel. But we are not seeing that. We are seeing other things. So we have to be very filtering to accept what is Krishna consciousness. Reject what is not Krishna consciousness. Otherwise we're going to be stepping into something that's going to be stumbling block. Even in the temple. Prabhupada has given us everything. Still we find some mistakes in it. It's not perfect, material world. But try to see what is good in everything. The flies, they're always flying for dirt. The bees, they always go for the honey. So we have to be a honey-like devotee, going for the nectar, chant and dance. We just had the Guru Puja. Just a short Guru Puja, but it's so ecstatic. Singing and dancing, so blissful. That's what it takes to experience Krishna consciousness. It's not very difficult. But if we don't participate, we look for something else. That's material world. That depends on us. We want that or not. Krishna didn't say, build big temple for me, and I'll live there. And I'll not live in a small temple. Krishna didn't say that. Of course, Prabhupada built big temple, Mayapur, Vrindavan, that's different. So there is so many angles to see. It's not our business to do so many things. First, chant our rounds. Are we chanting sincerely? With love, tears in our eyes, hair standing on end, like it is said in the books. Are we appreciating love for Krishna? Are we, every bite of food we take, are we seeing this Krishna in it with tears in our eyes? Or we just gobble it up? Are we actually experiencing love of God? And we're talking big things about opening a temple. And then, see my point. See things in a way that makes us humble. Humility was attracts Krishna. Krishna himself said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, one should be humbler than the grass, then you can chant. Taller than a tree, then you can chant. Why are you not getting love of God? Why these things are not happening? Because we don't have that humility in our heart. We want to be this, we want to be that. Understand? Any questions? I hope people are listening today online. This is a very instructive message for our community. I'm not some new guy. I'm in the position to say these things. Any questions from anybody? Yes.
Practice that.
A second speaker in the speaker.
Yeah. Prabhu was talking about humility, humble to everybody. How to practice?
How to practice?
Yeah.
That's why I said, you can practice it through service, menial service. That's why we say, servant of the servant. I'm your servant. It's not just a talk. You have to do menial service. There was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He had a brahmana. He came to his house to meet Bhaktisiddhanta. He said to, I want to join your movement. So he told his disciple to take him and clean the pot. He said, no, Swamiji, I don't like to wash because I'm a brahmana, I'm study only. Then he showed him the door. This place is not for you. The essence of Krishna consciousness, the essence of chanting, the essence of study, the philosophy, is to serve Krishna. With what? With humility, with love, with feelings of love. So it comes from knowledge. You have to study. So just like Prabhupada gave the example of a frog. You know, frog, when they make noise, their neck comes out. So they're in the well. Prabhupada says, "This my well is really big." So there's another frog came from the ocean. He said, "No way. You go and see the ocean is huge. It's no comparison to your well." He said, "No, my well is big, bigger than ocean." Because he never saw the ocean. So he thinks his well is really big. Everybody knows well is well, nothing like ocean. So he started to brag about himself. His neck came out, he exploded. So the humility is not something artificial. You have to come from knowledge. You have to study, read how great Krishna is, how great the universe is, how small we are. Prabhupada told Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he said, there's this universe, and inside this universe there's this planet, this world. Inside this planet there's this America, and this America, inside this America there's Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles there's this temple, this Hare Krishna temple, and then there's one person he thinks he's so big. He said to Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So if we look at everything, how big it is, we're just so tiny. But our ego is huge. Think, oh, I'm great. So you have to, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized, chant with humility. Be humble under the grass, the tree. The tree, the standing in the rain and cold, people cutting down the branch, freezing cold, especially here. Summertime too hot. And grass, people stepping on it. So that's what it takes to chant Hare Krishna, that attitude. So that's what I mean. It means humility. Not that, I'm humble today, tomorrow I'm not. It doesn't work like that. You have to understand the concept behind humility. Even if you are working hard with humility, there is some tinge. Oh, I am doing it so well. Everybody look. That's also, this proud comes. Krishna is the door. Mataha prataram nanyat. All living entities, they depend on me, supported by me. He gives the energy. So you have to see in that way. If he didn't give you air to breathe, we would be dying. In every way, you're dependent on Krishna. You can eat your food because there's fire in your stomach. Who gave that? Krishna says, Bhumirapanalavayu. I have that fire that helps you to digest the food you have. It doesn't matter who you are. Rich man, poor man. Everybody needs food. If you eat one roti, just one chapati, one piece of bread, before it goes on your plate, you know how much work went in to make that piece of bread? First there was rain to fertilize the ground, then they had to put the seed, cut the grass, cut the weeds, and grind the wheat, raise factory, and then they bring it, buy it from supermarket, and the mothers, you have to cook it, and then you sit and go, finish in 1 second. So much work went in to make that chapati. So who we are? I say, oh, I'm a millionaire. Okay, you can't even digest your chapati. So we have to understand, it requires humility to chant Hare Krishna, how tiny we are. Not one chapati we can't digest. Doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or not, or you're a bodybuilder. It doesn't matter. Understand? So humility is not, if we talk so much, it's just nonsense. You have to understand, chant Hare Krishna with humility, with that understanding. Even if there's no temple, chant Hare Krishna under a tree. The 6 Goswamis, they were great devotees of Krishna. Krishna is God. They are Krishna's pure devotees. Krishna could have built a golden temple for 6 Goswamis, 6 temples. But they were chanting Hare Krishna under a tree, every day a different tree in Vrindavan. Don't think they were chanting and sleeping. Their chanting is pure love, not like our chanting. But they were completely happy chanting Hare Krishna under the tree. There was no temple over their head. And we are talking big, big temple. Give me temple, give me temple. You see the Goswamis. Or Krishna was not listening because they didn't have a temple. They're chanting. They're writing books under a tree, on a leaf. There was no technology back then.
Prabhu, if some people behave silly and misbehave against the Hare Krishnas, so how do we treat them, We can't be humble to them.
No, first of all, we don't say about others. First we have to develop the character ourselves. Others don't worry about it. That's their problem. People are watching us, how I behave. Apane achar then prachar. First you become Krishna conscious yourself, let others will watch you. Leaders or this, that's not your problem. You become Krishna conscious. If we all can be Krishna conscious ourselves, people are watching us. They're seeing our example. Doesn't matter who you are. Even a pot washer is a very nice person. We say, oh, this person, avatar, he's coming for last 15 years, he washes the pot so nicely. People talk. Everyone. That's our nature, to glorify, see good and bad. But try to see good in others. So don't allow leaders like that. No, that's not your business. Our business is to be Krishna conscious ourselves. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jare deka tare kaho Krishna upadesh. You tell others about Krishna. You become a guru. Amara gya guru hai atar vedesh. Guru doesn't mean you sit in a big seat and everyone serving you. Guru means one who sets by example. One who is qualified to be a guru. He has sense control. He can make disciples all over the world. Disciplinary. And they have that. They say, oh, you're like this, you're like that. No. You do it yourself, and others will watch you. That's how it works. It starts with your own self. First with your own family, then to the village, then to the country. Starts with yourself. That's how preaching starts, isn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah. All right? Oh, yes. You're going to ask? Oh. Thank you. Hare Krishna.